Thank you very much. How you doing? How's everybody doing tonight? Please do. Trust me, I need it. You know, before I start, I do want to pay a compliment. Heather, you have done an absolutely incredible job of pulling this together and bringing in all of this terrific talent. Thank you so much. So, I had my physical a couple of weeks back, and I'm having, that conversation with the doctor. Everything's fine, with the exception of one thing. I'm a smoker. So that conversation leads to smoking cessation. She asked me, he said, did you ever try Chantix? I said, no, does it work? And he said, yeah, the success rate is pretty good on it.
Gives you really weird dreams.
Pardon me?
Gives you weird dreams.
I'll remember that. I grew up in the 70s. I don't need any more weird dreams.
I've been waiting 50 years for flashbacks.
So
You've been waiting 50 years?
he's writing out this prescription for me for the Chantix, and I go, hey, Dr. J, as long as you're writing out prescriptions for me, how about one for Viagra? He stopped writing and turned around and said, Mark, is there something else we need to talk about? And I said, no, doctor, but if I quit smoking, I gotta do something with my hands. So he writes me the prescription, and now he's going through that whole perfunctory, you got all the cautions about it. First one on his list was, if you have an erection for more than 24 hours, you gotta go to the emergency room. I'm sitting there thinking in the back of my head, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying home, or I'm going to the Y when the senior water exercise class is taking place, and I'm gonna go trolling. So, second thing he told me was, make sure you always take Viagra with water, because the last thing you want to do is have it stuck in your throat because you wind up with a stiff neck for 24 hours. But last thing was, he took me off my iron supplements because there was a small percentage of men taking Viagra that start spinning in circles and pointing north. So Viagra's been on the market for a lot of decades. And when it first came out, I found out that my mom, ordered a year's supply for my dad. My sister asked her, I said, why are you doing that? And he said, just want to keep him from rolling out of bed at night. So, mom eventually, passed away. Dad's now in his 80s. And he asked me, he said, Mark, can I have one of your Viagras? I was like, Dad, why? Do you have a girlfriend that the family doesn't know about? He said, no, I just want to stop peeing on my shoes. So, my dad wasn't the only one in the family that asked me up for Viagra. I had a conversation with my brother-in-law, and he said, Mark, how much is it? I said, well, it's about $10 a pill. He said, can I buy one? Well, yeah. He said, can I pay it tomorrow? I said, sure. So the next day he's giving me $110. And I said, Chris, it was only $10. He said, I know that, but the 100's from your sister. So, I got a question for everybody out there, okay? How many men are taking Viagra? Very few men want to admit to it. Next question is, how many of the significant others wish he was taking Viagra? Okay? How about how many of the significant others wish he would stop taking Viagra. Right. So, Viagra, as I said, it's been on the market for decades now. And Pfizer's decided that they need to rebrand it to make it more relevant for the 2020s. So they put together a focus group. And the whole intent was to come up with some new names for it. And they came up with two that's under consideration. The first one is My Dick's a Fixin'. The second one is I Be Polkin'. They are also entering into a co-op campaign with PepsiCo. And the intent is to come up with a power drink that could be used as a mixer. And it would be giving new definition to highballs, cocktails, or I think I'll just pour myself a stiff one. So there's an interesting statistic that I came across was right now there is more money being spent on Viagra and breast implants than there is on Alzheimer's research. And what that's telling me is that by the year 2035, there is going to be a significant elderly population that has perky breasts, great erections, and absolutely no recollection of what to do with them. So, my wife, my lovely wife, and myself will be celebrating our 48th anniversary this September. And yes, Viagra has kept that flame alive. So we're having this quiet moment, and she asked me, how many women have you slept with?
One.
And I said, sweetheart, I've only got eyes for you. And she said, no, you know what? We're coming on 48 years of marriage. We met in the early 70s. We dated for 7 years. It was part of the sexual revolution. You can tell me, how many women have you slept with?
One.
And I said, one. Because all the other ones wouldn't let me sleep. So, but then I asked her a question. I said, why did you marry me? She said, you made me laugh. You had a great sense of humor. And I said, I always thought it was because I was good in bed. You still have a great sense of humor. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening. Take care.